on, go live.
And go live.
Yay! Only took us 3 chances. I don't know why.
The magic spoon.
Your wand?
To make it go live.
Alrighty, so it's a week later, but really like 20 minutes later.
Just kidding.
So we haven't made a drink in a while. And we didn't want, also we figured out the camera, see how we're pretty again.
We're in the right colors.
We're in the right colors. So instead of making a separate video, we're like, let's just make the drink that we're going to make this week.
The top of the cast.
We're just calling it Death Knell.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't pronounce it last week. So this is kind of a drink that I just started making. Sometimes I just mix weird stuff that we have at the bar and I try it and then I like it. So we found this. This is called the Sexton, which is single malt Irish whiskey in copper casks. And I'm not going to lie that the amazing bottle was part of the selling price.
I mean, the name has sex in it too, which doesn't.
And it has this really cool, if you can see it, this amazing like top hat wearing skeleton.
Can you see it?
This is pretty decent. So this is going to be the base. You can probably use any Irish whiskey. You can probably use any sort of whiskey bourbon. This is just what we have. I have a nice little container. I made some simple syrup.
8 beakers worth of.
We're not using a whole beaker's worth. And then we also have some interesting bitters. And
these are my favorites.
Yeah, we have some really interesting bitters, and this is what makes this more than just sweet whiskey.
Yeah.
I have black walnut bitters, which is, it's not focusing because it's really light. You can kind of see it. This is by Fee Brothers. And then we also have from 1821 bitters that I found. This is Earl Grey bitters.
Earl Grey.
As soon as I saw that there is an Earl Grey bitters, I had to get it because I love Earl Grey tea. And it has the amazing, I don't know if you've gotten to spell this yet.
No, I think I've gotten to
the amazing Bergeron.
Ooh, I want to wear that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's everything I love about Earl Grey. Okay. So, and I have a stirring spoon that Grace has been using as a magic wand.
My favorite.
She may be using it as a magic wand for the rest of the episode.
That's the thing that could happen.
So I'm going to see if I can tilt this a little bit.
Okay.
Not really.
Just kidding. What, can you tilt just the guy on top, maybe? Without it falling. Hey, that works.
That kind of works?
You can not see our faces, but you'll at least see the drinks getting made. Okay,
but then you see a weird bag in the corner that had some yarn in it.
I'll just sit in front of the bag.
Okay, so.
No bag here. This is very attractive.
Kaylee wants to join. So, again, I make drinks in my own way. There's no measuring. I pour about that much.
About 2 fingers of whiskey.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
I pour that much.
3-ish fingers of whiskey.
Because I like my drink.
On the rocks.
So then, because I like the flavoring that these bring, I do about
a dollop.
Couple dollops.
Because there's a sprinkle and then there's a dollop.
Yes. Yes. Of the black walnut bitters.
Yeah.
And then you do
probably like 6 or 7.
This one has like the super mad science-y drop thing. So I get about a
third of a dropper?
No, I get like, what is that, half an inch?
Okay.
This is how beautifully measured, and this is
why
it's great.
This would be a sprinkle versus a dollop.
Yes. About a sprinkle's worth. And then, how sweet do you want this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want a Nick sweetness.
Yeah.
So I do about that. And then I like a little less sweet, so I do about that.
So a double dollop if you want it sweet. And a regular dollop if you don't.
Exactly. And then you do a little stirry.
Yeah.
You can tell this has been we've been trying to, our camera wasn't going live, so you can tell our ice cubes have basically completely melted at this point.
It's okay.
You do a little spinny spin, which is why I love the swizzle spoons.
Yeah. It's gotta be the best sound. That was the sound that my grandma made when she stirred her coffees in the morning.
I'll put that back
Look, we're people again.
Look, we're people again. And then you can try our Death Knell. Death Knee. Slanja.
Ooh. I like it.
It is a whiskey forward drink.
It's good though. Like it doesn't hit you like whiskey does most of the time. Like this is a dangerous drink.
This is really dangerous because there's just enough sweet, and that's why it's part of the reason why I love like Manhattans.
Yeah.
Is it just softens it that little bit. That's
exactly what this does. So where this doesn't fight your tongue the way some of the whiskeys do, which I love that whiskeys fight your tongue. Because they do. They fight the whole way. Yeah. Like that.
I inhaled it purposely.
Yeah. There's certain amount the added sweetness, if you're not a good like just
straight whiskey drinker, which I have been known to be.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
And then both the black walnut and the Earl Grey, like
it's so good.
They fight in a good way to me.
Oh yeah.
Like especially with the smell of it, they fight in a very
I'm gonna go with their dancing.
They're dancing. It is fight dancing.
Yeah. They're doing capoeira.
They're doing capoeira. So the black walnut is the Predator.
Yeah.
And the Earl Grey is the Sam Carter.
I like that. Yes.
So also we're drinking this because as people we mentioned last episode, when we're done here, we're watching Heroes. So we needed a drink.
I don't know what that means, but I'm scared.
Grace doesn't know why yet. She just knows that this episode...
I genuinely had my heart just drop because I'd forgotten.
Well, you just know that we've been building this episode for many years now.
You have... Well...
And
I know things.
There's multiple reasons why this episode is going to hit.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But before then, we're talking Death Knell. Knowles.
Nell.
Oh
God. Okay.
This first aired on February 6th, 2004. Written directed by Peter DeLuise. Nope.
Okay. Just kidding. I was like, wait a minute.
Welcome to episode 148 of There's No Place Like Terra, a Stargate First Watch Rewatch podcast. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace. And you know what helps when you record an episode is to hit the record button.
You're supposed to just smooth on over that.
This is more fun. Today we're going over season 7, episode 16, Death Knell, aka me, aka Null, aka we don't know how to properly pronounce this word, aka it's Sam time.
It's Sam time.
What's your aka?
Sam Guyver.
Yes.
My AK is just singing, which we proved last episode that.
I love that.
Of course, I know the theme to MacGyver.
AKA, of course, Nixie knows the MacGyver theme. Guys, I had a sip or two of this drink, and it is in my brain.
So for our Patreon followers. And the video before this, I taught you how to make a Death Knell, which is the drink that I have just started making myself, which I felt fit this episode really nicely. Yeah. And it's a lot of whiskey.
It's whiskey. And some, did you hear me say whiskey?
Yeah. As I would make most of my drink, it is spirit forward.
Yes.
Because I like a strong drink.
We like to say hi to our spirits.
You might want to. Do you want to put some ginger ale in that guy?
No, I'm going to tough it out.
Do it.
I'm good.
Listen, if Sam can tough out the wilderness,
exactly,
you can tough out a drink.
I'm just gonna learn not to chug it.
Okay, don't chug it.
Yeah,
it's good. It's gonna last you.
Yeah.
Okay. Written and directed by Peter DeLuise.
Yes.
Previously on Stargate. Do you remember how the Tok'ra and the Jaffa basically hate each other's guts with an undying passion that not even a common enemy could overcome?
Nothing can come.
Since they have basically irrevocable, that's a word, right? Differences in fight styles, in how they go about doing what they need to do.
Everything they do in life is different from each other.
Yes. They solve problems in a very different way.
This is how I make the episodes different. The last episode, the hair was up. This episode, my hair is down.
Both episodes, my hair is underneath a hat. Okay. So
that's the last of that.
And also the Predators, and also a weird energy tesseract, all caught up. Awesome. So at the new Alpha site,
New York.
Yeah. Thank you for getting that Doctor Who reference. There's Jacob is just sort of passive aggressively grumping away his rounds.
He's just being cranky old man.
He's being cranky old man. He's annoying that things have moved since he last worked at the old Alpha site, and the kids need to get off of his lawn.
He is very passive aggressive. He's like, "Have you seen this thing?" Which actually he means, "Did you move my thing?"
And he just wants to be effective. Like, this prototype should have been done weeks ago. Sam goes, "It's fine. It's finished and done. It's just not finished.
Yeah.
They've only had the Tesseract for a month.
Which I will say that if I had not had coffee, that would annoy me too.
Yeah, we learned that Mr. Grumpy Pants hasn't had his coffee this morning because apparently Selmac doesn't like coffee, so Jacob gave it up.
Selmac's gonna have to just buck it up, buddy.
I don't give a shit if my symbiote friend doesn't like coffee. He's not the functioning host body.
The functioning host body needs it. Look,
functioning host body needs coffee.
I would be willing to give him a compromise where it's like, fine, I'm gonna do an espresso. It's gonna be real quick. We're gonna push it through.
That's fine, and I will take it down from an entire pot of coffee a day to a single super strong coffee.
But none coffee, I don't know that I could work that way.
No, we pretty much everyone around me has an understanding that you put coffee in my hand first thing in the morning and you just don't talk to me for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand that I have a reliance on coffee, and that's okay. I accept this.
See, and I do this fun, deceiving thing where I can wake up, because my routine is wake up, put clothes on, brush teeth, put contacts in, walk a Stormy.
Yeah.
And then I come in and do breakfast and coffee. There's this assumption that I'm fine in the mornings. But no, I have a reserve that I'm using every morning. That if I hit a certain hour, and I've come back from my walk and there's no coffee and you're talking to me, it's like, oh no,
don't.
The reserve's gone.
Yeah,
I use that reserve to walk a Stormy.
I will say, there's many mornings that I go out for a run in the morning before my coffee.
Yeah,
but again, I'm not talking to people.
That's what I mean.
And honestly, I go for my run so early that I'm not really conscious yet.
Yes. Yeah, that is exactly like the Stormy walk.
I'm not necessarily sure of my surroundings.
The only person who can put
Don't worry, guys. I run in a very safe manner. Don't worry. Okay, so just then the alarms go off. The Alpha site is under attack. Fresh-faced red shirt McGee comes in.
The whole gang's bugging out.
Cold ships have just entered the atmosphere, and they're evacuating to the beta site.
Also, bugging out is not a word I knew was a professional
I don't know
word.
if it is.
He just got real slangy with his superiors.
Listen, he just watched the movie that I always forget the name of, where they fight with Neil Patrick Harris and they fight the bugs.
Oh, with
it's
Starship Troopers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I always forget the name of it, but I always reference it. And can I ask why they're doing this research at the Alpha site?
Right. Why not do this back on the site?
We wouldn't have any of the problems in this episode if we weren't doing this research. This seems like SGC research.
Maybe, because this was originally on the first site, right?
Not necessarily, no, because the reason they had to move from the original Alpha site is because Jonas had his mind fucked with.
Right.
And so they had to find a new base. And we learned the methods they went through to secure this one. And they've only had the Tesseract for a month. I
wonder, there's got to be a reason.
I'm sure there's a reason.
You can't bring it back to Earth. Maybe it was the risk of someone finding it.
It's just, to me, one of those, you could have put one line in here, because the entire episode I'm going, why?
Or maybe the SGC has grown so big that it's literally there's no room in here.
I don't know.
It seems like a giant base for just one thing that they're doing.
Seems like it should be done in Sam's lab.
That's fair.
But we have credits then. So in the gate room, the alarms are going off there as well. It's been 20 minutes after the evacuation order was called at the Alpha site. And they have no idea what happened to Jacob, Sam, or there's 90 people missing.
That's a lot of fucking people.
It's a lot of people. And to try to keep this place secret, they brought in the gate from another planet to this planet. So
I don't think I fully understood that.
Yeah, so that's how this gate isn't even on any map This planet doesn't have any map because they brought a gate there and like gave it a new address.
Did they gate the gate there? How do you can you fit a gate inside another gate?
I don't think you can. They don't fold. No, the Tok'ra ship brought it there.
Fair. But how much fun would it be
to try to fit a gate through a gate?
You gotta go through the gate. It's like the magic trick with the rings.
Maybe in the future we will see a gate that will fit a Stargate through it.
That sounds dirty. I'm in.
So Walter is able to get a lock onto the Alpha Site address, and they send Melpy through. But when Melpy gets there to the other side, he fell down a hole.
He's so brave.
He's so brave.
And Melpy is more and more like Wally to me every time I see him.
Brave little Melpy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But the Stargate's laying face down, so the Kawoosh made a hole, which is what the Melp fell into.
Yeah.
So, that's fine. They'll bring a power source. They can manually dive home if they need to. It's a perfect foxhole. They're under fire, and Hammond gives them a go.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it. What else can we do?
And it doesn't hitting the ground, no matter how close it is got to hurt. Because you're going through the Stargate. It's going to be disorienting. You're going through the Stargate, and then you're automatically rotating 90 degrees and falling. Yeah,
it's like you're walking into a burpee.
Yeah.
That you don't come back up from.
Listen, no one should do burpees.
Yeah.
Listen. Look and listen to Steal a Line. Burpees suck.
Yeah.
If you like burpees, you're not human. So, you know what? Teal probably likes burpees.
Well, he's only sort of human.
He's only a little human. So when they get up, they climb out, and the whole area is one big crater. There is nothing left, and they assume this was the auto-destruct.
Yeah, shit's hit the fan here. We're aware of
because Jack has a good point. It's a single radius explosion, which I like that. It was one bomb that did this. It's not like there's multiples. It's weirdly shaped.
Yeah, that means that they blew this shit up.
Single radius.
That's cool.
Sometime later, SG-3 arrives, and they go and start looking for survivors. So we see the search, and it's just burnt wreckage, trees down, smoke. Teal does find a piece of Predator armor. Yes. So Jack tells...
A clue!
Jack tells the SG-3 that the noise is coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
They go on high alert, as they should. And it does not take them long before they find a gaggle of Alpha Site survivors.
Yeah. Yay.
There's only 12 of them. They're not in good shape. Many of them are hurt. He radios to Jack, but Sam is not with them, nor is Jacob.
That's going to be a tough thing to say. I was wondering about the way he says it. He's like, I think he says, unfortunately, no. But I feel like that's even more put together than I would be able to get out. I think I would just be like, no.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Just no. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
So Jack radios Hammond, and they're working on getting the gate uprights. And Hammond is sending SG-11 and 21, but for some reason, that means that there's going to be a delay before they can send more help for the search. And I don't really understand why.
Well, it sounds like I've got to focus my people on... I can't send everyone through because there's loose Predators. So I have to focus my energies on getting the wounded out.
Well, and see, I almost thought that there was some reason of we're working on getting the Stargate upright, which may take some time.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a delay.
Well, and maybe the traffic trying to get through.
I think that whole thing sort of was a little...
It's a little nebulous.
Yes.
But...
Good word.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good word. So as the boys continue to search, they run across Jacob. His leg is pinned under a fallen tree.
It's a pretty sick wound.
It's a pretty bad wound.
Yeah.
Only to be outdone by Sam's leg wounds later. He hands him a modified TER, which is the modified fancy weapon.
Oh, got it.
That's the one, remember, that we could see the Ritu? We could see the invisible guys.
Oh, yes.
They've modified that, and they're adding on sort of the power unit that they've sort of hijacked from the Tesseract.
Yeah, they're just basically Frankensteining the best weapons.
Yes. So the power unit that he has in this one is the original. It's not as powerful as the one that Sam has.
Right.
It only has a couple shots left.
Yeah.
But they don't know where she is or even if she's alive. And again... Part of me says this whole episode could be solved if you just put a LoJack on your team members.
Yep.
But also, and like part of me going, well, that'd be a giant invasion of privacy.
Okay,
I was like, these people aren't everyday people.
No.
Pretty sure they'd rather be able to be found.
Remember when we lost Jack?
But also I go, that might be really easy then for the enemies to figure out how to track your people, and that would be super bad.
That's very true.
So I guess we shouldn't put a GPS on our people.
Or should we? Like, I'm still on the fence.
I know.
I'm still on the fence.
I know, but if the alpha site was detected...
If there was a way for them to disable their own GPS device...
My thing is that if somehow secretly the enemy or the Gould or Anubis was able to track and then you didn't know it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I know.
Got it.
So they get Jacob through the gate. It's a bad wound, but nothing Selmac can't handle.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob has no idea how Anubis found out where the alpha site was.
Nope.
But if he survived the blast, the Predator did as well.
Yeah, and we know that he's serious because he called Hammond George.
Yeah. It's either a really good or really bad thing.
Yeah.
We're never quite sure. So there's also basically nothing that would work against their armor except kinetic energy, because, you know, can't ignore physics.
I love that.
He's like, kinetic energy, huh? Siler, prepare my missile-laden UAV.
So giant bombs?
Uh-huh.
I love it, because I feel like that's basically what Hammond says.
Yeah.
It's like, so giant bombs.
Giant bombs? Good, I can translate.
Bigger weapons. Got it.
Bigger.
Exactly.
I didn't see Peter DeLuise in this episode, but that's my Peter DeLuise.
I like it.
Bigger. So sometime later in the briefing room, Major Green has been called in, who was the guy that was the current leader who we found with the 12.
Right.
He's not necessarily in trouble, but the fact is that there was a major breach in security, and the Pentagon wants answers, because of course they do. He tells what happened. It's fairly standard. The Stargate was hit by an L cache, which is why that went down. And Colonel Riley ordered a self-destruct since there was sensitive material on base. Yep. There's nothing unusual over the past couple days, but Hammond wants a list of everyone, Jaffa, Tok'ra, human, who's come and gone through that Stargate in the past 48 hours.
Well, yeah, so clearly someone's hiding something. There's a mole. Some shit's at the fan.
Well, and I think what, to me, sort of ends at the episode is no one purposely gave away the alpha site. I don't think there was a mole in any way.
But that's the thought.
But that's the thought. That's what they have to rule out at this point.
Yeah. It's very much like the 7 Harry Potter scene.
Yes.
Where it's like, somebody gave us away. The shit's at the fan. The shit's at the fan. Someone here is not trustworthy. When actually, that's not how it went down.
Exactly.
No. I've been listening to a lot of binge mode, and I finally got.
I'm very far behind you on binge mode.
It's the best.
I'm still in a Goblet of Fire.
It's okay because it takes them a while to get through episodes.
Still my favorite book and movie.
It's pretty good.
People can argue and fight me all you want.
I think Half-Blood Prince continues to be my favorite.
Yeah, there's something, I don't know. There's just something about Goblet of Fire that I like.
Yeah,
and it makes me happy. Maybe it's the horrible hairstyles that they all have in the movie.
Yeah. Well, it's very grand.
Yeah.
It's big and it's grand. And
it's also, I like the sportsy of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I like how there's the front scenes and there's the underlying still saga stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a little bit of love and romance.
And it's very swashbuckly.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So backtracking. Tracking.
Like
Ranger Teal'c has gone Aragorn. There's a lot of Lord of the Rings reference. There are a couple of Lord of the Rings episodes in this one. He's found Sam's footprints. Hobbit went this way.
Yeah.
And then they have you have the Ring Wraith tracks behind it, so it's not good. And I love. Can we talk for a brief moment about Teal'c's purse gun?
I was like, I have no idea where we're going, but I love this.
I know everyone can use P90s right now because of real life reasons. Sure. But it's like a grenade launcher thing, but he's holding it like it's a messenger bag.
You know what? He's very effective.
He is.
He's all about practicality, what works. A backpack is too far to reach easily.
But it's not like it's clipped like the P90 is.
No. Yeah. Of course not. Nice little baggie. Because he's also got his lunch in there. Maybe some donuts. Maybe some donuts.
Teal'c loves donuts.
Teal'c loves donuts.
I have a hunch that Teal'c would really get into baking.
He would get into baking and would be good at it.
Because they'd be super scientific about it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kaylee would really, really love some of Teal'c's baked goods. Kaylee, come on.
Exactly what's going on.
Kaylee, you done? Kaylee, you done? She's staring at me and then barking reluctantly. So, in the infirmary, Jacob's leg is, getting better. Selmec's just a bit slow right now. And Daniel didn't come here about his leg, though.
Sure.
But the truth is that Jacob doesn't know anything more about Sam than what he already said. And I'm like, Daniel, why would you go there and think that Jacob has information on Sam that he hasn't told you yet?
Because his spidey senses are tingling. But yeah, no, you're right. The thing is, Daniel knows something weird's going on.
I think all that this is a prompt for us to get into the flashback, and they just needed something to get there.
Yeah, but I will say, I think it works. Because there's clearly something weird going on. Somebody knows something they shouldn't know. Daniel's going to start with the easiest inroad.
But I think the thing is that there can be a way. It's just somehow the way that he's like, more about what happened with Sam. But in reality, we don't find anything new in this flashback.
We don't. And I don't know that Daniel actually thinks that he will. But so we've already made it clear that we were found out.
Yeah.
We've been found out, which means somebody got information out somehow. And he's like, if anybody's going to be able to persuade people to talk, if by any chance Jacob's got info, this is how to get it.
Then again, the question that was posed was different than that one.
Right.
So that's why I was like, I think it was just the wrong question was asked.
Yeah.
But we do go diddly-doo into a flashback, which is fun. Sam doesn't want to leave for the attack until she gets her backup information, wipes the computer, etc. And the poor red shirt is yelling that they've got to go.
Oh, like he goes out.
Right as they're leaving, he goes out, man.
Oh.
Shots are fired
like
through
Quentin
the door.
Tarantino movie.
Yes. And the red shirt goes down. And Jacob fires the fancy weapon and it slows him down, but not by much.
No.
So they run together towards the woods and the hills. And most likely it's still following her, Jacob says. Because of all the gin joints in all the world, why did the Predator had to walk into that one?
Right. There's something about this. I know that Sam's in trouble if she's being chased by the Predator. But we've gotten so secure in who Sam is and that she can get out of things, especially very recently. With the episode where she's on the ship by herself.
Grace.
There's just a couple of other things where you just trust that Sam can handle it in a way that I didn't feel when Daniel got lost in South America. I did not feel as secure as I feel in this moment. And
what I really like is because we are so confident and we are so sure and we have no worries about Sam taking it. But shit can hit the fan, but it is nice to go. And her dad knows that she's going to make it through, but it's still her dad. Yeah, it's a sense of like, look, if anyone will make it through this, it's Sam. It's Sam, and I know she's going to make it through. But also, that's my little girl. And what if she doesn't? Yeah, exactly. That's my little girl. Because regardless of if it's Jacob and Selmec together, it's still Jacob's little girl. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's still a father, and his daughter is out in the woods being hunted. Literally hunted. Literally hunted. Yikes. But Jacob basically right now thinks Anubis somehow knew that the weapon was at the Alpha site, and specifically the weapon was in that room. Yep. Which is why I think that they think that maybe there was a mole. That's when the mole conversation is real. Yeah. To me, I think it's much more likely that Anubis fucked with someone's brain. Oh yeah, like even if there is a mole, it's not on purpose mole. It's not on purpose mole. Fair. Yeah. Back at the gate room, Siler has the UAV ready to go, and Mazel, the Jaffa leader, has been cleared through medical to be debriefed. So they do. He doesn't understand why he's being questioned. If you want to know who betrayed you, go ask the Tok'ra. Right. Real trust.
Well, and the thing is, here's the truth though about this, is the Jaffa always work with this sense of straightforwardness.
Yes.
And the Tok'ra, to their benefit and to our benefit, work in the subterfuge.
Exactly.
They're like little finger, if you will.
Which is why when I said, like, them working together, they can't, I truly think that there is a reason as to why they cannot work together.
Yeah.
They go about their objectives in the most opposite and oil and water way as possible.
Which is why I understand Daniel's frustration. It's like, don't you see that because of this, you're great together?
Exactly.
But it's so different. It's so opposite of each other's core.
Which is why you would say having a Tari in the middle
would be helpful.
Of the sandwich. We can be the
Tari sandwich.
The little sandwich, and we can be the gooey center.
Yeah, that brings them together.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
But yeah, as shitty as this is meant to be, as sick of a burn as this is meant to be, it's like, well, I get why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does say that the Tok'ra are without honor. Burn.
That one's tough.
He goes, look, they have people in Olokron's ranks. I'm going to mispronounce that name this entire episode.
I kept saying Omicron.
I'm going to call it Omicron Persei 8.
Yeah, that's exactly what my brain
Okay, so in Omicron Persei 8's ranks, but they're doing, even though they have a spy in there, they're doing nothing to stop the slaughter of all the Jaffa.
Right.
Like, the Tok'ra spy could assassinate Omicron, no problem.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And Hammond's like, look, we don't know. How do you know they have a spy there?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, well, if they're saying they don't have a spy there, they're lying to you, dude.
Yeah, that's true. There's no proof of this.
No.
But also, I mean, the Jaffa don't just make shit up.
They don't.
Again, they live off this idea of truth.
Mm-hmm.
They're very straightforward. That's
they're Klingons.
Yeah, that's fair.
Reality, if you want to make the analogy, they're the Klingons of the Stargate world.
Yeah, if my brain went D&D, so I'm like, they're barbarians.
They're barbarians.
Yeah, there's like, they don't work in deception. They don't work in, they're not rogues.
Everything is honor-based.
Yeah.
They are an honor-based society, and lying has no honor.
Yeah, sure.
So the gate logs show that Mazel sent a group of Jaffa out 24 hours before the Alpha site was attacked, and they haven't reported back. So Hammond's like, if they were captured by Anubis, Mazel's like, I'm going to stop you right there, because no Jaffa would succumb to torture. And Hammond's like, well, I'm going to stop you right there and say that he doesn't have to torture them. He can just mind
take their
fuck
shit.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no stopping that either, which is the crap part.
Yeah. And Mazel goes into some spiel about how the Jaffa never got to choose their own masters. He just wants to offer the Jaffa who serve Omicron the choice to finally blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is great now. And it's a very good little spiel. Has jack shit to do with the situation at hand.
Yeah, it's really just he's finally speaking up about what he's really angry about.
Yes.
It's really not about anything other than like, look, I think my people deserve a fair shake.
He's prepping himself for the argument later in the episode.
Yeah. He's already has ulterior motive.
Yeah. Back at the Alpha site, Jack and Teal'c radio to Hammond. They found Sam's tracks and they're heading east into the hills. So Hammond's going to send the UAV over in that direction.
Sam on the run. Sorry.
Sam on the run. We finally get to see Samwise Gamgee in a reaction very similar to the Fellowship of the Ring, hiding in the hollow of the tree as the wraith goes by, smelling the air.
It's pretty appropriate.
I
do like her slick back hair. I know she's supposed to look grimy and dirty, but
she looks good.
It's very good. It's very 11 on Stranger Things.
It is. She's bleeding something bad though. She has a major leg wound. It's not an ideal situation. So Jacob is up and around with Kane. He checks with Hammond for any news on Sam. There's nothing yet. But there's no one tougher or more resourceful than Sam. And on the investigation front, does Jacob know? I just have to go back for a second. Yeah. Just because it just popped into my head about how much comfort Jacob must take in that the person watching after his daughter is one of his best friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he knows that Hammond's not going to treat Sam any differently, but there is some comfort factor that I think that Jacob takes.
Well, he can trust that he's competent enough.
Exactly.
Because a man like...
He knows the... If we're going to go back to honor, he knows the honor.
Well, and a man
Hammond
like
has.
Jacob doesn't trust just anybody with anything. You know what I mean? But he trusts his best friend enough. It's kind of like, I know that Stormy is a very difficult dog to watch.
Yes.
And he's a very difficult dog to take for walks, very strong. But it's like, I trust my best friends to be able to handle it.
Yes.
Like,
and you
no
know,
one can handle it as well as I can.
And you
but I
also
trust
know which of your friends can walk a Stormy and which can't.
Yeah.
Whereas Kaylee's like, as long as she knows she likes to chase cars, you're fine.
Yeah. It's the same idea. But it's like, look, there's certain people that I'm like, no, let me handle this.
Yes.
Where there's other people who are like, yeah,
we're in the middle of a major D&D. Please just walk him to go pee and just go right back.
Yeah, thank you. Gotta go bite. Yeah.
Okay, so on the investigation front, Hammond's like, "Do you know of any Tok'ra operatives in Omicron's ranks?"
Yeah,
and he's like, Jacob's like, "Yeah, no, the Jaffa must have been mistaken because I would know if there's someone there."
What would you? Oof.
So Mazel then comes back from checking at the beta site for his people. None of his people have returned there. And they were on a mission to recruit rebels from Omicron's ranks, his army. And apparently there's an attack on Anubis while they were out. Thousands of Jaffa were killed.
Damn.
And he mentions again the Tok'ra spy. And Jacob interrupts going, "No, there's no spy in his ranks. I would know about it."
But
Hammond's like, "But would you?
But do you know things?" Yeah.
So back with Sam, she's struggling through the trees, and she comes to rest against one of them, sliding down to sit, and for some reason takes the pressure off her tourniquet, which I'm like, isn't that a major not thing to do?
Yes.
Like, there's a reason you put a tourniquet on.
But here's the thing. I wonder how bad the pain level's getting. If that thing's throbbing and swelling, and she's like, just for a second, I gotta release some pressure.
But again, wouldn't Sam know enough that that's just not a thing that you do?
Maybe it's just to show how dire and how much pain she's actually in.
Yeah, because you guys, if you put a tourniquet on, don't ever take it off.
It's like, I think, like in a bigger scale, when you're like, I know I shouldn't itch this thing that's itchy, but I just for a second.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Just for a second, I just need to itch it for
I just need to itch this mosquito bite for 1 second.
Yeah.
I don't know if, guys, I get really bad mosquito bites.
If you don't itch it, it's
like
better.
Giant mosquito bites that I have, without knowing, scratched into open wounds.
Yeah, not good. It's like, it's not the right thing to do, but sometimes it just fucking feels
so good.
Yeah.
The difference is that when you scratch a mosquito bite, you're not at risk of losing your leg.
Yeah, it's fair.
Oh, that's gangrene for sure.
Uh-huh.
So the predator sees blood on some branches, and then sees a blood. It's a lot of blood on the ground, and follows it to a figure sitting against a tree.
This part,
you were losing your shit.
I was gonna
You were screaming at the TV,
and I was like, "Oh my god, Sam! Oh my god, Sam! Get the fuck out!"
You're like, "Stand up, Sam!" But no, it's some
not a Sam.
poor other SGC dude who's been dead for a bit.
They do this a couple times in this episode, and I think it's to remind us how many people were killed in this blast.
Yeah,
because we do see a couple of like, oh fuck, fuck, this is a shitty situation.
And thankfully, Sam then gets up, he gets the willies, and goes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call him Dalek.
Yeah.
It's like Dalek, but it's Dalek.
Yeah, it is Dalek.
It's time for him to be questioned by Hammond. He also doesn't know why the fuck he's here. The Jaffa basically admitted that they did it.
Yeah.
Hammond's like, not so fast. They said a Tok'ra was also captured. Dalek's like, yeah, there was no Tok'ra there. The Jaffa intelligence is really bullshit anyway.
Dalek is a shithead.
He's so shitty.
And also his whole, I'm unable to discuss matters. That means you're lying.
He's basically like the Tok'ra equivalent of Colonel Asshat.
Yeah, and it's like he's so bad at this part too.
Everyone knows he's lying.
Here's the thing. I think that's almost what makes him douchier. He's like, I'm gonna tell you by not telling you, which makes him even more of a piece of shit.
He's like, listen, I know I'm lying. You know I'm lying.
Well,
I
I'm
know
gonna
you
keep
know I'm
lying to
lying.
you because
But
I'm
I'm
a dick.
going to deny it at all accounts.
Yeah. Gah! That's how I feel about this guy.
He and when Hammond like basically asks him outright, he basically pleads the fifth. He tries to politics his way out of an answer.
Yep.
Hammond's like, well, we have an alliance. Dalek gives no shits about it.
No.
Because to him, the Tal'Ri have only used the Tok'ra when it's convenient for the Tal'Ri.
I mean, fine.
He's not
It's
wrong.
just the amount of like disdain that he holds that pisses me off.
They keep their own knowledge. It's like you guys don't share all the ships you're building.
Right.
True. Trust works both ways. He goes, you just keep doing all the shit that you keep doing, thinking that it affects no one. But we have to share all of our knowledge with you?
Yeah.
Is his point of view.
Yep.
Hammond's like, look, that's all well and good, but how many Tok'ra are you missing from the Alpha site?
Right.
5? Must be nice. I'm missing 64.
Yeah. So fuck off a lot. Hammond is fierce.
He's furious, and he's like, I'm gonna figure this out with or without you.
Yeah. I just keep imagine if somebody like hurt one of his granddaughters. Like imagine if some kid
That's when you get the call. What is it? The call from was it Taken?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a man of many skills.
Well, it's like, imagine the poor kid that like ditches his, and not that poor because fuck you for doing this.
Yeah.
But imagine the kid who ditches his granddaughter for prom. Like that kid is about to get fucked.
Yeah. And he'll never know who did it.
Yeah. It's just going to be bad times. And it's like, he's going to use all the legitimate routes available.
Yeah.
Like including parents and teachers and things. But it's like, you're going to feel this one.
Yeah.
You're going to feel this because you don't hurt
But here's the thing. Hammond's going to do it in a great way where he's not going to know why all these shitty things happen to him at once. He's just going to know shit rained down from him from above.
Yeah. He's like, why is my life so awful? Yeah.
Hammond is just, let's just say he's a man you don't want to get
just don't
pissed
cross
at you.
him.
Don't cross Hammond. He's never going to yell.
No.
He's never going to yell.
Those people are always the scary ones.
That makes it even scarier. So
there's a friend we have at work who's also like a boss.
Yeah.
Who I go, if you've pissed off this person, you've done fucked up.
Yes.
Because she doesn't piss off easily.
And I will happily say I've never been on the receiving end
I never want
of her pissed offness.
I never want to be.
I have witnessed it.
And that's why I'm like, never go there.
So Sam stops for some water at the same watering hole that we saw some Unas and a Gould scene.
It's an interesting lake there.
A couple seasons ago. And the Predator shows up.
Yikes.
So Jacob goes to visit Dalek. So about this possible spy and Omicron's ranks, that couldn't be because it couldn't have happened without the High Council's approval. And I'm on the High Council, so therefore, and he's like, yeah, you should probably have that conversation with the High Council and not with me. And Jacob is pissed. He basically goes into, do you know who I am mode? And Dalek's like, I'm pretty sure I'm just talking to some human host. It's
just the amount of self-satisfied that Dalek has that pisses me off. It's just like, fuck you, your smug face.
So Selmac comes out. He's like, bitch, I was a Tok'ra leader before you even had a host.
Yeah.
Don't cross me.
Yeah.
And Dalek brings up a really interesting point to consider. For all its shittiness, it is a very interesting point. He goes, the Tal'Ri are unlike any humans in the galaxy because we have not been ground down by thousands of years of slavery.
Right.
Which can be valuable assets, but also can be highly dangerous.
True. Yeah, I mean, I guess, it makes you a wild card.
But it's one of those where if you're going to try to put yourself in his position, in the Tokra's position, of having a host that, like Jacob, who is going to be as strong of an influence as any host you could possibly get.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, for all the thing about Tok'ra talking about how they are a perfect blend of the host and the symbiote, they're not.
No.
They're not.
Yeah.
All they have is a host that is willing to help out.
Right.
The Tok'ra are not equal parties. But Jacob and Selmak are.
I don't think there's any type of symbiotes that can be, with the exceptions of like I guess as a race, I feel like the symbiotes just, it's not in their nature.
It's not.
But Jacob is strong enough to be like, no, I'm here.
Jacob and Selmak, I think, are equal parts, which is why I think the Tok'ra High Council is more threatened.
Yes,
because they don't have, they're not just dealing with Selmak, they're dealing with Jacob as well.
Yep.
And they don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day, as much as they talk the talk about being equal and being good with the host, they're not.
Because here's the thing. He wouldn't have a problem with talking with the human host, quote unquote, if it was.
Right.
It's not just Selmak.
Oh, yeah. It's shitty.
So it sounds like there are also others on the Tok'ra High Council who think Jacob is having too much influence over Selmak and questioning his loyalties. Which again goes back to the whole thing I just talked about. So they sent a spy without Selmak's knowledge, since if he knew, he would have told Hammond. So, but that's also why he wasn't informed.
Yep. Jeez.
And Jacob does, for his credit, go straight to Hammond.
Right.
That the Tok'ra spy is missing. But we do learn that the Tok'ra have basically, they will take their own lives over being captured. And they take their own lives in a way that damages their brain so much that they can't be revived by a sarcophagus.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wonder what that looks like. Except I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Brain soup.
Yeah.
So we may never know who the source of this leak was.
Yeah.
And Jacob has helped up as much as he can, but he needs to go back and keep searching at the Alpha site.
Yeah.
He's out of the loop at the Tok'ra. There's nothing really more he can do here. His emotions are getting in the way.
He's got to go back to getting shit done. Yeah.
Which is ironic, since if he was emotional, he would have said, fuck all this, and just gone straight to the planet to look for Sam.
Yep.
So Hammond's like, look, I could actually still use your help, because the beta site is getting real bad. The infighting between the Jaffa and the Tok'ra are getting so tested and so much that if things don't calm down, he has to order both sides out of the beta site.
Yeah. It's getting tough. Things are coming to a head. There's a lot of stress on the Tok'ra and the Jaffa. So far, we've heard basically the confession of the things that are causing resentment with the Jaffa, and shortly we will hear the same from the Tok'ra.
Yeah.
We understand where all this animosity is coming from, and it's sounding like a divorce is forthcoming.
Exactly. So Sam is hiding under some bushes, hidden very well, when she sees a UAV in the sky and uses her watch to MacGyver some reflections up its direction.
It took me a while to remember what this reminded me of, and all I remembered was when Sam was hidden there, it reminded me of something really sad, and I couldn't quite place it why it made me so sad. And now I remember, it literally just came to me. It's from the Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah.
When Peeta is hidden with his baker's skill set hands, he is able to hide himself. And that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, I'm so sad for Sam, and I don't know why. And then I'm like, oh, she's so cool. She used her watch to do the thing.
She did.
Yeah.
And suddenly the UAV is shut down. And Sam hides again because she sees the Predator.
Like, that's a nope. That's a nope.
By the way, this happened at 2:57.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can see the watch.
My only qualm with that is that her watch would be set to military time. So unless...
Was her watch digital?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Here's my only thought is that somehow it is like it's like 3:00 in the morning for her time.
Maybe it's Earth time.
It's Earth. It's still set to Earth time, but it's not that on the planet.
Right.
That's my way I'm accepting that. So Jack gets radioed that the UAV went down, and Jack and Teal'c go and head that direction. So Mizelle and Jacob meet.
Yes.
It doesn't go well. We get a new feat. We've been talking about it without giving it a name. It's Tok'ra arrogance.
Yes.
Which is very different than gold arrogance.
Yeah.
For a beat, Mizelle is almost, the Jaffa aren't doing anything wrong. They're just not backing down from the Tok'ra now.
Yep.
Just accurate.
There's just been a lot of, this was what's the word? Is it tenuous? A tenuous relationship from the beginning. And everybody was kind of like not talking about the
Eggshells.
elephants in the room.
Yeah.
No, not talking about it, walking on the eggshells. And now everybody's like, here's all my feelings and fuck all if you think something bad about it.
Yeah. Selmac comes up for this one. He's like, you know Tritonin.
Right.
You know how it's going to free the Terra.
This whole science dance again.
But did you know that millions of Tok'ra symbiotes died for that Tritonin, and that our own Queen Egeria died for that Tritonin?
Again, the story about your Queen Egeria and how she died a martyr to save all the things in the make. Okay.
To be fair, Mazel didn't know that.
No, it's true.
It's
true.
And he's like,
that's
fighting.
Being a dick. Sorry.
Fighting together, we have killed more system lords in 7 years than the previous 700 years.
Yeah. It's just the sacrifice seems too much for both sides.
Yes.
And both sides have a lot of their own shit to work out.
And the sacrifices, I think, are very different, as we'll get to.
Yes.
But together we strong, divided we fall. And this is all well and good, Mazal says. He's down for all this kumbaya shit. But Jacob doesn't speak for all the Tok'ra.
That's true.
And until all the Tok'ra feel that way, reconciliation is not happening.
Yep.
He's like, I can work with you. You're rational.
You're cool. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah. So on the planet, Sam reaches the UAV and starts to MacGyver. She sees at least one missile is still there, which is perfect, and she lines it up the way she wants.
So I will share something. Recently in one of my classes, we had to identify and define what our core values are. One of mine is resourcefulness. And Sam, this entire episode is just a lesson in like, there is always something you can do.
Always.
There is always something you can do.
Yes.
I fucking love it. It's one of the reasons I love D&D, because it's like, I'm out of spells, I'm out of heals.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm gonna fucking throw my, I think one time we threw like sand at something.
Listen, Mage Hand is always a cantrip.
That's true.
Okay. You can always do something with Mage Hand.
It's just like,
it's basically the first lesson I learned about using spells. Is you can always do something with Mage Hand.
It's just, and I just love this. There's something about resourcefulness to me that's just like, because resourcefulness is you don't lose hope. Yeah. That's what it ultimately comes back to.
You never like throw your hands up in exasperation.
You don't give up. Yeah.
Never give
never
up.
Surrender.
Never surrender. Okay. So Hammond now brings all sides together in the briefing room, and it goes nowhere. All sides blame each other.
Yeah.
Both sides not willing to rely on
this
allies.
Relationship's done.
It's done. There's no salvaging it.
Yeah.
Dalek points out, again, we hate him, but this is a second point to think about. That in the past few years, more Tok'ra have been killed working with the Tari than Tok'ra have died in the past 100 years.
Yep. And they cannot rebuild.
And they can't make more Tok'ra.
Because remember, our Queen
Egeria died. And
yeah, there's just, this relationship is dead already.
Yeah.
And the Tari are not helping it because nobody thinks that well of the Tari right now either.
Because the Tok'ra to the point where, like, as good as this relationship is, we literally don't know if we can afford to be in this relationship anymore.
Yeah.
So the Predator walks to the exact location that Sam needs him to stand in conveniently. Yep. So she hits it with a missile. Looks pretty awesome.
Yes.
And it gives us some D&D ideas.
I do love that part. Yeah.
So Sam sits down and just breathes. But then, like a horror film, one single hand comes up from the rubble.
This is the best part. And I think I told you when we were watching the first time around. It reminds you when you're little and you get buried in the sand, and it's like, okay, now I get to come out of the sand.
Monster.
Yeah. Best part.
So Teal'c and Jack arrive at the nick of time, start firing back.
Yep.
Teal'c with his like fucking grenade launcher or something.
Yep.
Sam takes a distraction to hide. Jack fires his fancy gun. Doesn't even slow him down. He hides next to Sam, who gives him the new power unit, and it works.
Thank goodness.
He goes down. He throws the gun to Teal'c to make sure he's dead, and Sam is like, "Is it done? Okay."
Oh God.
I'm really injured, and I'm really tired.
I'm tired now,
and I can't. I'm not gonna get up right now.
This is the second time we see Sam go through something like this, where she's like, "Okay, I've pushed as hard as I can push now." The amount of vulnerability she shares here is like,
and Jack sits down with her, and puts his arm around her, and it's fucking adorable.
Yeah, because she's like, Sam need nap now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And the wide shot of that, and then you have Teal'c.
It was like, I'm gonna
standing
stand guard
over-
over this dead thing.
Is it dead? I'm just gonna make
I'm
sure
gonna
it's dead.
Make sure, yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching it.
Jeez.
So sometime later, after Sam is back, the conversation continues in the briefing room, and not in a positive way. The alliance is done.
Yeah.
The Tok'ra are leaving the beta site.
Sometimes you just can't reconcile.
No. I think at least here, I can't say they're leaving on positive terms, but they're at least leaving on we're not killing each other
No,
terms.
yeah, they're not enemies. And I think it's important that they understand.
Yeah.
It's like those divorces where it's like, we don't hate each other.
No.
We're just not meant to be together.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
just don't love each other in that way anymore.
Yeah.
We can't live together. It's just not working. We're going to be happier apart.
Yeah.
But, we'll still get together for lunch.
Yep. Yeah. And the kids are going to be fine.
Yeah.
We'll remind them that we both love them. Yeah.
So, since for the Tok'ra to stay, the Earth would want them full disclosure on covert operations.
And it just ain't happening.
And they're not doing that.
Yeah.
And Mazel says that Jafar are also going to leave, not because of the Tok'ra or anything, and not because of any ill will with the Tari, but the fact that this is a Tari base, and therefore the Tari would dictate the terms.
Yeah.
And the Jafar right now have to be their own masters.
Right. They've been at somebody else's will for too long, and that's what they need to learn to do. They need this opportunity to grow and do that.
And Hammond's like, look, we're not trying to tell you what to do. We just need to coordinate efforts.
Right.
And Mazel's like, I get that, but at the same time, we're still learning what it is to be free.
Yeah.
And so we have to make our own
tough
bases.
Choice.
It's a really tough choice. We have to make our own bases. We have to train our own leaders. We have to build our own communities, and we have to do that on our own because we have to make the mistakes that you would make when doing that.
And this is, again, if we're using the analogy of relationships, this is I don't want to break up. I just need some space conversation.
Yeah.
I just need some space. Oh, God, those are hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like, we have to figure out all that before we can be equals in an alliance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I think there is also an argument to leaving a couple liaisons on base,
or making an effort to say, "Hey, let's check in with each other."
Exactly.
Something like that. And I think that's the hardest part, because when you want to pull away, you just want to pull away. You're like, I can't think about that right now.
Exactly.
You just have to trust that I'm going to come back and talk to you.
Yeah. Because I do think there is benefit of being like, look, we want you to set up all these things, but we also, in the process of you setting it up, we want to let you know that if you need supplies, we can supply those.
Yeah.
If you need food, we can help you do that. If you need weapons, we can help you do that, because you can still have an alliance with someone without relying on them. There is still, you can have a give and take reliance with someone.
Yeah, but I think that the Jaffa need to learn what that means to them.
But I do think that in the way that this situation is left, I think the Tari Earth is still closer to the Jaffa than they are to the Tok'ra.
Well, that's the thing, is the Tok'ra never let anyone in.
No. And I think that Jaffa are like, look, we still want to work together. We just need some space.
Yeah.
We need to check in a little less often.
Yeah. We need to figure this out for
ourselves. We need to go away to college.
And find out who we are and what we want to be.
We need to take our Earth, Pray, Love tour.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to go get our group back.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. But yeah, there's just, they went from a master to this very close alliance that almost felt master. Like they've yet to find their identity. Well,
I think it was, the way that I see it, it wasn't necessarily a master relationship. To me, what I feel,
that's what they had with the gold.
Yeah, with the gold. But if you want to turn it into sort of relationship terms, the way that the Tari, the way that Earth, I think, was almost helicopter parent.
Yes.
You know? Hey, let us help you do this.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the way we do this.
It's like, I know you can help me, and I know that you have ways at work, but I need to find mine.
And that's what they're doing. Like, we can't do things the way that Earth does it. We can't organize the way that Earth does. We're not that. We are Klingons. We can't work the way the Federation does.
Fair.
But however, we can have Worf join the Federation.
And share in the ways and get perspectives. It's so tough. Anyway.
So Daniel is pissed at all this. He's like,
is.
look, my friend almost died helping to get a weapon that can stop the Predators, and the moment that we can use that to make a difference, everyone wants to walk fucking away.
Well, that's the thing, is Daniel's like, can we just hurry up and be over this and get through it already? But it's like, you can't. You need time.
And I get
where he's coming from.
But I also still think that, you know, if the Tal'Ri, if they can work and make a plan, I think the Jaffa might be more willing to be like, yeah, we can do that plan with you than the Tok'ra would right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just how it has to be right now.
Like, remember the time in Gilmore Girls where Luke tells Lorelai that he needs some space?
Yes.
And she just can't seem to fucking give him space?
Yeah.
All she needed to do was give him that space. Yeah. But she never backed off.
It was like a week. Just give him a week.
And she never did. And she didn't back off until she broke it. And that's where Daniel's coming. Daniel is our Lorelai.
He's made of feels.
Like, he just can't back off. And it's like, you just got to back off for a second.
Yeah. So
this is like a three-way breakup. It's so hard. That's why this episode feels heavy.
Yeah. And in the infirmary later, just to bring more heaviness onto this, Jacob visits Sam. And he tells her that he may not be able to come around a ton for a while. The details aren't important. But he needs to head back, and he needs to mend some Tok'ra fences.
Yeah.
I will be back eventually.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, I'm going to miss you.
I love you.
And Jacob's going to miss her. And then we fade out with no one happy at the end of this episode.
It's the parting of the ways. If we're back on the Harry Potter lines.
Yeah.
It's the parting of the ways.
No one is happy in this episode.
Even though we have a common enemy, our approaches are not the same, and we just can't reconcile them.
They can't. Yeah. I don't know what the third. We have oil and water and something else that doesn't work with everything.
Yeah.
Vinegar.
Yeah, there you go. Done.
None of these three parties, they go about solving solutions in such different ways that even, you know, I do think it's set up the way that the story goes, the way you build story, that the Tal'Ri are the bridge gap between the two different styles.
But it's
not enough. It's not enough.
God, this episode's heavy.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm gonna finish this drink, except not because I know we're about to watch something else.
We are about to watch Heroes. Thankfully,
I'm not worried.
We have a cuddle puppy here.
I'm not worried. I'm fine.
We're gonna cuddle this puppy.
Everything is fine
while we watch Heroes.
I'm already dreading having to go home and do homework after this, but it's gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna go home and have a nap and then do homework.
Yeah. So does this go on? We have.
No.
Do we have one Indeed?
We do have one Indeed.
I think we have one Indeed.
We do.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that.
What number did I just put on there?
It's 35.5.
So this episode does not go in my top 5. I will say that.
No, it's a really heavy episode, and it's very much about these relationships. But again, everything right now, and now that I know that this is a big deal, we're getting to a 2-parter, everything seems to be building to something bigger. So I'm saving my space.
And to me, as much as I like this episode and I like sort of the outcome, and I like sort of the fact that we have this episode where not everything is resolved at the end. Mm-hmm. I just had some problems sort of with the storyline of how we went about that.
Yeah.
Again, I still don't know why Sam had to be on the planet in the first place.
I do think that this will be an episode I rewatch when I'm feeling hopeless.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds,
I get
the way
that.
These relationships break apart. But just the watching Sam as inspiration.
But it's also important to know that not every solution needs a quote unquote positive outcome.
Right. You just got to move through it.
Not everything you don't need to solve everything with a happy ending. Sometimes things going what might seem badly is the best outcome, because at least it's an outcome and then you can move forward.
Well, it's this thing where I always think of the runners. I think it's the Raramuri who can run their long distance runners from Mexico. Mm-hmm. And so I think we are built to endure.
Yes.
Not to win.
No.
Not to always. We're not always going to be happy, and that's okay. We're built to endure, and you just got to keep moving.
And I'm going to butcher the quote because I can't even tell you said it.
Okay.
But it's the concept of you don't learn by winning.
Oh, yeah. It's important to fail and fail quickly.
Like, that's how you learn by failing. You don't learn by winning.
Nope. Yeah.
So, anyways.
On that happy note.
On that super happy note, we're going to watch Heroes. Yeah.
No, it's appropriate. It's
Yeah.
necessary. Sometimes we're here. Whoa, everybody take a deep breath. Woo. And on to the next one.
Alrighty.
For now,
Yes.
find us on Twitter at Terra Podcast.
Find us at Facebook at There's No Place Like Terra.
Email us at theresnoplaceliketerra@gmail.com.
Patreon.com/There's No Place Like Terra. Rate us, like, or review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yep. And share whatever you like on Facebook. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And the stream. Don't cross the